think we're live. What's up? What's up? We got a Ryan Cohen interview with another eBay seller, Ralli Roots. So that should be exciting. I've already watched it, to be fair, but we'll watch it again. Someone made a Kotaku. What? No, it wasn't Kotaku. We'll just go on Google here. It was Dexerto. I think Kotaku has an article too, actually. Yeah, they made the first article. So I guess we'll read them since they were first. Or Dexerto might have a better article because it was a little later on. They might have a little more info, I guess. So yeah, we'll check that out. Pokemon fans furious over GameStop's upcharge for 30th anniversary cards. What's up, Yuku? How you doing, Yuku? We got a sec filing. It's not really anything special, just a form 144. Nothing special. Mark selling some shares. I think they do that for tax reasons. I'm not really 100% sure. I think, yeah, there's a 425, but GameStop hasn't bought any more eBay shares or anything like that. So nothing really going on there. I thought there was another thing. Oh yeah, Sony killed physical games. So that's kind of, that was yesterday though. That was yesterday. What's up with this ad? Okay, there we go. It goes away. They really want me to join the Navy, apparently. No thanks. No thanks. What's up, fishy friends? The ad is so intrusive. Good lord. The ads are very intrusive. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make stream clips anymore. I think I'm just gonna I posted a video today. I think I'm just gonna make videos like that from now on instead of posting stream clips because it's pretty easy to just talk about the subject instead of making stream clips. I don't know. Either way, I guess we'll read. Well, the Sony thing happened first, so we'll read the Sony thing first. All right. Sony confirms it'll stop making physical PlayStation games in 2028. Sony has confirmed that it'll stop producing physical discs for all new PlayStation games beginning in January 2028, marking one of the biggest shifts away from physical media in the company's history. In a post published on the official PlayStation blog, Sony said that all new games released from January 2028 onward will be available exclusively in digital formats to the PlayStation Store and participating retailers. The change only applies to new releases, with games launched before the cutoff continuing to be available on disc. According to Sony, the decision reflects changing consumer habits and the wider entertainment industry's continued move toward digital content. I feel like this is such a bad move. Do they not see the secondary market of some of the games they've produced throughout the years? Like, they're kind of eliminating future value of these things. Kind of weird. I don't think this will be like negative for GameStop either, because I think they benefit the most from the console releases, not necessarily games dropping. Even though I'm sure they do make some money on games dropping, I'd argue that a majority of the profits are coming from console releases. But yeah. I think this is just killing the secondary market for PlayStation, because there's so many PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games that are worth a lot of money still to this day. And it's just I don't know. I don't know why PlayStation's doing this, actually. It's definitely going to be a net negative overall. And if Xbox continues to produce discs, that could also be very valuable for Xbox or Microsoft. So I don't know. Kind of weird. PlayStation scraps physical games as consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital. Physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Did I say 2028? 2028. Sony added the move as a natural direction for the company, citing the growing popularity of digital purchases over physical media. I don't know about all that. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our communities prefer to access and play games today. The announcement does not affect existing physical releases or games scheduled to launch before January 2028, as these titles will continue to be produced and sold on traditional discs. Sony also stressed that players will have the option when purchasing games with digital titles continuing to be sold through both the PlayStation Store and participating retailers that offer digital game codes. So they're still going to have boxes for the games with the code in it? That's actually really dumb. What's up, P? Should make digital content like downloaded games be able to for resale. eBay is key. Imagine that. Oh yeah, we've been talking about the used digital marketplace for a long time on this stream. It's just probably something that'll never happen. Maybe though. Who knows? We'll continue to also, those things won't have any value, I don't think, so I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But I've talked about that many times before. Sony also stressed that players will still have options when purchasing games. When digital titles continue to be sold through PlayStation... Oh, wait, I read that. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games. Whether that's at retailers or PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. Sony's also dropped a lot of like terrible news. I guess they're getting rid of the PlayStation, pretty much any downloadable content on PlayStation 3 and PS Vita, or maybe they're just getting rid of the store. I've seen a few things about it. It's kind of interesting. They're dropping a lot of things, and I think there's another thing they're doing as well. I forget what it is though. They dropped a bunch of news. But oh yeah, they got rid of like 500 movies, 500 movies. They just deleted them off people's consoles because the licenses ran out. Sony is just going down a dark path, it seems. Remain committed to delivering world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. The move represents a major milestone in the industry's gradual shift away from physical media, with PlayStation becoming the latest platform holder to fully embrace digital distribution for future game releases. And GTA 6 isn't dropping with a disc, but I think we've already talked about that. What's up, Grady? Something's better than zero value, I would say, when it comes to that. I mean, I just don't get how, I just, if you can just buy the game whenever you want, how is a used digital game any different from just buying a new one from PlayStation or something like that? Like, I don't see how you could, unless you're just gonna undercharge the market for your digital game, but then I just don't think the economics of that works, but who knows? We'll see, I guess, right? Because a used digital game, like the difference between a used physical game and a new physical game is, you know, that it's sealed. It's never been put in the disc probably hasn't even been touched on a new game. So it's just, it wouldn't really make sense to have a used digital marketplace for games, because there's no difference between a used digital game and a brand new digital game. So it doesn't really make sense to me. I've talked about it many times, but it doesn't make sense. Alright, Pokemon fans furious over GameStop's upcharge for 30th celebration cards. Pokemon TCG collectors are furious after apparent GameStop pricing for the upcoming 30th Celebration Ultra Premium Collection surfaced online, showing the retailer charging $600 for a single box. Holy. I haven't really done too much research on this, but I've heard that like some of those some people are trying to sell those boxes for like $1,500 already. It's kind of insane. The 30th anniversary is going to be a crazy drop. I've heard the ETBs are selling for like $300-$400, but GameStop's only charging like $90 for a ETB pre-order. So I think ETB pre-orders. I think GameStop's pre-order prices for 30th anniversary are extremely fair, but for some reason people are, I don't know, maybe it's just you get clicks and views for bashing on GameStop, so that's why people are doing it. Seems obvious, I guess. The 30th Celebration line is a major anniversary release for the Pokemon TCG, with products launching in waves from September through December. As with other special sets, booster packs will only be available inside boxes, tins, bundles, and other sealed products, rather than sold individually. Ultra Premium collections are the biggest ticket items in the lineup. The Espeon EX and Umbreon EX Day and Night boxes are set to release on November 6th, and have been listed at $179.99 retail, which each one including 29 30th Anniversary Celebration booster packs, one Classic Collection booster pack, promo cards, a playmat, sleeves, and other accessories. Wow. This is a huge drop, man. Huge drop. This is gonna, oh man, I'm excited for this drop. Obviously I'm not gonna buy shit, but I think it's gonna be an interesting shakeup in the card market. We'll see though. GameStop will be charging $600 for a single UPC from the 30th Celebration set. Feel free to tag them below and ask them what the fuck. Use digital game. You can have the game, but can only play on someone else's save file. Well, the save file's on their console, so that doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't. Yeah, it just, nothing about it makes sense. Not saying it can't happen, but nothing about it makes sense. The skins actually kind of make sense because skins actually have value. Let's see. Pokemon fans call out GameStop triple retail prices. The backlash started after Pokemon Alerts and News posted an image of what appeared to be GameStop's internal price list. The highlighted listing reads Pokemon 30 Celebration Ultra Prem SD 11.6. Price of $600, more than triple the $179 MSRP, but being circulated for the product. Yeah, nobody's going to be selling this product at MSRP, so it's not even something that should be talked about. Maybe after it drops, we'll see. Because, I don't know, this drop is weird. This is a weird drop for Pokemon. Potentially it's gonna be one of the most mass-produced sets in the past few years. So it's either gonna be, you know, super mass-produced and it's not as valuable as people think it's gonna be, or it's just gonna be normal production, and we'll see. I mean, if it's just normal production and nobody can get their hands on it, that's gonna be this is gonna be a weird product. It's gonna be a very weird product. Double prizes coming in with the $100. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Be excellent to one another. Stay cool. I appreciate it, Double Prizes. Thank you for always donating, bro. Appreciate it. It's very helpful in this moment in time, so I appreciate it. Let's see. Following the outrage, the account posted a full suggested retail price list for the 30th celebration catalog, claiming the ETB should be $49.99, the UPC should be $179.99, booster bundle should be $26.94, and poster collection should be $14.99. When is an ETB drop for $50 in the past few sets? Like, I don't even remember the last time something like that happened. And maybe perfect or I guess ETBs are usually around that price, but this is one of the most hyped products in the market. Good luck even getting anyone who's complaining about MSRP, good luck even getting a box. Good luck even getting a single pack of this. If you're worried about MSRP, and I mean, you're just not even going to get anything out of this product unless you go and wait 30 hours in line at Target. You're the first one in line. Maybe you'll get a box, but you ain't getting this product for MSRP. It's not happening. Even from Target, you're not going to get it for MSRP. Collector spraying to accuse GameStop of effectively charging resale prices before the product has ever been released. Why does TPCI continue to give GameStop promo cards, etc., when they are actively making the TCG situation worse with such a ridiculous markup on products? It should be MSRP and not a cent higher. How is GameStop making TCG worse by just selling it at the same price scalpers are selling it for? That doesn't make any sense. The only people who benefit from GameStop selling it at MSRP are scalpers and people who make content on YouTube, which honestly, the people who make content on YouTube probably aren't too worried about the price because they can just do whatever they want. It's kind of interesting. I don't know why people, I mean, the internet, obviously, you got to get your clicks, you got to get your likes, you got to get your views. So bashing on GameStop and shitting on GameStop for doing the same thing everyone else is doing is a very popular thing to do these days. So I guess I get it, but it's still pretty weird. Because in reality, the only people who are standing in line to get these boxes at MSRP are scalpers. And that's just is what it is, man. It is what it is. And the follow-up merit compared to the rumored GameStop prices with MSRP writing ETB should be $49.99. They're listed at $150. UPC should be $179.99. They're listed at $600. Booster bundle should be $27. They're listed at $80. Oh well, don't buy it then. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Don't buy the product. Don't go to GameStop and buy it. It's easy, simple solution. Very simple. Reddit users had similar reactions, with one about the pricing research, hundreds of upvotes, $600 one user wrote, while another said, if it's not MSRP, it doesn't exist. Well, these people aren't getting boxes of Pokemon. The internet's so stupid, bro. Imagine complaining about the prices of cardboard inside of sealed plastic. Like, that's how some of these people live their lives. It's pretty interesting. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't like it, don't shop at GameStop. Go on eBay and pay the same price you would pay, if probably more expensive, because this is one of the most hyped releases ever. If this release isn't mass produced, if this release isn't like 3 to 4 times more produced than any other set of Pokemon, you're never going to get a box of this. It's going to be impossible to get a box of this. So I don't know, man. Whatever. Controversy comes as Pokemon TCG collectors continue to complain about scalpers, limited availability, and high secondary market prices around major releases. GameStop's online 30th Celebration Hub currently lists 13 results for the upcoming line. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, complain about scalpers. GameStop's just doing what the rest of the market's doing, bro. So you can complain all you want, but they're using their distribution to benefit themselves, not benefit scalpers like everyone else. I don't know why like Target and Walmart wants to benefit scalpers. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I made a video talking about it, and it's actually doing okay, or it was. For some reason, it's getting a lot of impressions, but just not a lot of views, not a lot of people clicking on it. It's kind of weird. It has like 2,000 impressions already, which is insane. 2.3k impressions. That's a shitload of impressions. But getting people to click on the video is a whole other thing. What's up, Rosh? Ron? What's up? What's up, Fox? Don't quit. Let the guns win. Fuck them. Yeah, I appreciate that, Fox. I mean, realistically, the only reason I'm still doing the stream and making videos is for the people that have supported the past 2 years. If I didn't have a following or people who actually watch the videos, I probably would quit, because in a lot of ways doing this is kind of a waste of time. Like, I appreciate the support, and you know, I appreciate you guys, but in a lot of ways making videos and streaming is kind of a waste, because who knows if it'll ever actually work out. It's kind of a pipe dream. So I appreciate your guys' support, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And, you know, I'm never going to stop buying GameStop shares, and that's always going to be a thing. If they're selling at these prices, then why wouldn't they do it? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But, you know, it's easy to bash on GameStop. It gets clicks, it gets likes, so it's pretty obvious why people are doing it. Most of these people probably don't even buy Pokemon or care about it. They just talk about it to get views and get likes. It is what it is. But, yeah, now we got a Ryan Cohen interview, which I've already watched it, so I don't know. I won't have much. Maybe I'll have some stuff to say, but we'll see. And then I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. If there's something else to talk about, let me know in the chat. There was a couple of videos I wanted to watch, but we'll see. This is an hour-long interview, so it's going to be a while. The guy who invented KFC did it at 60, so you never know when something happens. It's very true. I was actually talking to a dude in the sauna the other day, and he's like an older guy, like 60 plus. And he was talking about that, like how a lot of people find success in their like later years, you know, like their 50s and 60s. And, you know, if you have success in your younger years, like 20, 30s, maybe even 40, you probably won't keep the success because you're not smart enough. But in some ways I agree with them, some ways I don't. But the part about, you know, finding success in your older years, it's definitely true, you know. It's never you never know what's gonna happen. 100%. You never truly know what's gonna happen. So I guess we'll watch this, and then you know, I actually want to watch another video before this, because I thought this video was pretty good. I won't watch the video on stream because I've already watched it, but some dude made a video opening power packs. God, what was his channel? I guess I don't remember what his channel was. Pac-Man. This dude, he's not like a Pokemon YouTuber or anything like that. He was actually opening like sports cards. And he ended up opening a $5,000 pack. So if you ever, if you want to watch some like power pack content,
digital card,
I thought this video was pretty good. Yeah, because most people would just open Pokemon, you know. It's cool seeing someone actually open some sports cards and some other stuff, and he goes through every tier. So he ends up opening the $1,000 packs, and then opens a $5,000 Pokemon at the end. So definitely worth a watch. I won't watch it on stream. I've already watched it. But there's a lot of GameStop content that like doesn't get any recognition. I've noticed. It's kind of weird. Like if I go to just today, obviously there's going to be all the people who actually talk about GameStop all the time. That's it is what it is. I don't know why is what it is. But there's a lot of videos that don't get views. Like there was I don't know. Oh, for some reason GameStop's own YouTube channel doesn't get views. It's kind of weird. This guy got a job at GameStop. Like I think it could be kind of interesting going through and watching some of these GameStop videos that really don't get any traction or anything like that. Like obviously there's people who've been making videos about this for a long time. But it could be interesting to start watching just some random videos. I don't know. Not in this stream, but maybe in the future. Because GameStop is actually getting a lot of people talking about it lately. I mean, this is an AI documentary. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Obviously, I wouldn't watch any stock content. I don't like watching people talk about stocks. Most people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to the stock market, so that's kind of in my opinion, kind of a waste of time. But yeah, there's a lot of people talking about GameStop, but they don't get any views or anything on their channels, so I think it'd be fun to actually check out what they're talking about. What do random people think about GameStop and all that? Like I said, not today, but maybe in the future. Maybe if I ever get back on the daily stream grind, it could be something fun to do. Can't wait for PSA to come to Germany. I want to grade a lot of old cards. That'd be kind of... The way PSA is not in Germany? It's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Soon, though. I mean, realistically, you should be looking at them yourself and, like, trying to understand grading to see if it's even worth sending it in. Because if, like... Obviously, I don't know what cards you have, but if it doesn't really have, like, a good value at a low grade and it's not in that good of quality, it might not be worth sending in because grading cards through PSA is so fucking expensive. It's actually a joke. So I'd probably, be very selective with what you send in, but you do whatever you want.
Yesterday, we were fortunate enough to be able to sit down and talk to Ryan Cohen, the current chairman and CEO of GameStop, the founder of Chewy, and a person who's been known to take on big challenges and do things his own way. But what we really wanted to understand was the person behind all of that. Who is Ryan Cohen and why does he want to buy eBay? To me, this was a conversation where I walked away thinking about business and life completely differently. And I really enjoyed the time that Ryan was able to spend with us. And I want to thank him for even taking the time to reach out and do this conversation with us. So with that being said, please enjoy this. If you like the video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button and share this with everyone that you possibly can. We would love to get this interview out there so that people can see who Ryan Cohen really is. First of all, Ryan, thank you for being here from one Ryan to another. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this interview because he has his wife on the interview and she just asked some like different questions than what normally people would ask. So it's actually a pretty good interview, kind of more personal, I guess.
The time that you're taking to, what's funny about this is we were talking, we're like, of the decade that we've been on eBay has never really reached out to us to do anything like this. So I think that you're reaching out to sellers more than eBay right now, which is kind of crazy. But why don't we just start with, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
I grew up in Montreal, always been an entrepreneur. I started selling pet food online in 2011. I was shopping at a neighborhood pet store, going every few weeks. I had a poodle at the time, and we were about to get into a totally different business, online jewelry. Did not know anything about it, and we ended up selling all the jewelry for, actually got probably 80 to 90% back, and within a few weeks, I was selling pet food online, and the rest is history.
Nice.
All right.
And now I'm here, and now I'm here with you guys.
So now you're here.
Did you have a standard poodle or a toy poodle?
It was like a 5 or 6 pound poodle.
A
I
little,
was,
little bit. Yeah. Allie's
yeah.
parents both have a
Giant poodles.
big poodles. Yeah,
They're very big.
they're great dogs. Though.
I had
So
a small place, so I didn't have. I grew up with a Labrador that was
Okay.
much larger, but then I needed something more compact.
it doesn't shed. Best dog ever. Super
Yeah,
smart.
my Labrador was a
Yeah.
big shedder.
They're very big shedders. So for our audience, I just wanted to preface by saying, Ryan, I think that after watching hours and hours upon hours of interviews with you and reading every single article I could find, it was probably 3 weeks ago that was written about you and or the article that you wrote yourself. And I wanted to take a moment to talk about your father's influence on you individually and discuss how that inspired you to start your own business.
Um, I didn't spend that much time in school, so
I love that.
Same.
um, so I remember growing up going to my father's office, which was a warehouse. It was probably about 25,000 square feet.
He sold
wow.
glass, right?
He sold glass.
Oh, cool.
Exactly.
Super
So
cool.
he would import it from China and he would sell it to local businesses. And I would see him in a suit and he would take off his jacket and he would be in the back warehouse working with the guys unloading pallets.
Mm.
And he would, I mean, he would do it for hours.
And you
And
watched that.
yeah, and he would basically then come into the front and he would be drenched in sweat. Like you could see
Yeah.
through his shirt. And he didn't even say anything. He would basically then go back onto his typewriter and he would work at his desk. And he did everything from working in the back with the guys to working at the desk doing administrative work and sales and everything in between. And so he didn't consider the part of him sitting at his desk work
Yeah.
because if you weren't physically working and you weren't sweating on the job, then it wasn't work. So when he saw me on the computer and I was working and he would ask me, "What are you doing?" And I would say, "I'm working." He said, "That's not working. You're playing on the computer." Could not correlate anything that wasn't physical labor.
That's so
If it
funny.
wasn't that, then it wasn't considered real work. And so his work ethic was he'd wake up at 4:30 in the morning. He would go running outside in Montreal in minus 30
Jeez.
weather. And he would come
Oh.
back in and his face mask would be totally frozen. He was in like a tracksuit. He was just a machine.
Wow,
And then
wow.
he was at the office from the first one to open up at 6 in the morning, last one to leave the office, the only one with a key. So I've never seen that level of dedication and work ethic. And if he was sick, it didn't make a difference. He could have food poisoning, the flu. He still went into the office. No excuses. So,
He really
so
instilled true work ethic from like the very bottom of using your hands, getting them dirty. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
yeah. No, he loved it. I mean, it was even from, cutting the grass in front. It was filled with poison ivy and it didn't make a difference. He would get poison ivy all summer, but he wanted to cut the grass himself. So,
Sounds like a good guy. My dad kind of also very.
I'm glad. See, I like that she's on this interview because you just get a more like personal. You get more personal questions. Like I don't think Ryan's ever talked about his dad like that in any interview or anything like that. So pretty good question.
Very similar. We immigrated from South Africa, and he was always in sales. And he kind of like when I, in high school, everyone was saying, you have to go to college, you have to do this. And I remember my guidance counselor asking me one time, like, what college do you want to apply to? And I said, I'm not going to. I'm going to go straight into, starting a business. And they brought my parents in and told them, thinking that my parents would be like, no, Ryan, you have to start doing applications. And my dad was like, he's going to be an entrepreneur. He can do whatever he wants. So I think that like that growing up is with those type of parents is a huge benefit. I think.
My parents were not entrepreneurs, but they taught me just hard work, and nothing is beneath you. And if you have to get on your hands and knees and wipe whatever it is on the floor off the floor so that people can get by and do their jobs, like that's what you have to do. And so we were always raised with a very strong work ethic. You do what you have to do, but everyone's a team and we have to work together as a team, because if you don't, everybody fails together and everybody wins together. The team mindset, that.
So you want to buy eBay?
Now that we know that you were raised by
you heard.
And we know your mother was wonderful as well. So she was she still is a strong, powerful influence in your life, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, she keeps you on the straight and narrow.
Exactly.
I think the first question I want to ask is, so if you like put yourselves in our shoes as eBay sellers, we've been selling on eBay for over 10 years. How should we feel about this potential acquisition?
Well, I am going to be the CEO of the company, and I look at the sellers as the customer, and there are
you get a couple of the same questions you've heard, of course. We've already heard this. What's up, Arca? Jason? Appreciate it, Jason. Bubbles? Yeah, I appreciate that, Bubbles. Thank you. Just thought he had a very mixed schedule. Nah, I was gonna quit making videos and just stop streaming for a while. But I think it's like I said in the last stream, I think it's just selfish of me to stop streaming and stop making videos. So kind of I feel like I'm kind of forced to keep doing it, and I still believe in it slightly. In a lot of ways I don't, and I think I'm just wasting my time, but I still believe in YouTube and making videos and all that. So, I got to keep going, even though potentially, I mean, in some ways I don't really want to, in some ways I do, but we'll keep it going. And maybe one day I'll get that spark back and we'll be back on the daily grind and, making multiple videos a day and streaming every day. Who knows? But for now, I'm just, whenever there's something to talk about, I'll hop on stream and talk about it. And whenever there's something to talk about, maybe I'll make a video about it. But yeah. What's up, Gobnob?
hundreds of thousands of sellers that small businesses that their livelihood depends on this, and there is a huge opportunity to do a lot more business and to make the customers happy. And for me, what that means is talking to individual sellers, understanding what are the bottlenecks, what are the issues, and fixing it. And I can only really tackle those problems by having conversations with individual sellers and understand the issues that they're running into. And I get emails with sellers telling me all kinds of issues that they run into, where they end up getting paid, an item doesn't. I just got one yesterday where they got paid, they never shipped the item, and eBay told them not to ship the item. They ended up getting paid.
Oh.
It was like an $8,000 sale.
Whoa.
And then they ended up not shipping the item because eBay told them that it was a fraudulent buyer. And then they ended up basically debiting the account for more than what they ended up paying them for originally.
That's crazy.
So
That's
Yeah.
crazy. We've had that happen to us before too. It's usually on like
Jeez.
new eBay accounts that'll like if you just start as a seller, you'll start and then maybe you try to sell something expensive, and then people see that as a brand new seller and they're like, oh, I can take advantage of this seller, and they'll do it's a pretty known scam, unfortunately. But that's terrible that eBay hit them
Continues
back with the
while they know it's happening to allow it to happen and not put any safeguards in place so it no longer happens.
So,
Yeah.
but of all the
Just stay offline when you don't feel like it. We all need a pause. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. But at the same time, in order to build this and make this successful, you have to be doing it every day. So, I don't know. I do agree with you, though. Zito. I'm on a small pause on right now from Reddit, prepping for exam. Taking my time, buying more, working. Nice, Zito. I mean, there's nothing really of value on Reddit anymore. I stopped looking at Reddit for a long time, and I recently started looking at it again, but there's just no value on there anymore. Nobody posts anything good. I think I did see a decent analysis post the other day. Someone put in a lot of work to some DD. But other than that, it just seems like it's a lot of like bots and just shit posting. I'm not a big fan. I don't really look at it. The only reason I look at it is to see if there's something I've missed, but it's very rare that I miss anything. For a while, I mean, the chat used to give me all the updates and stuff, but don't really get any updates anymore. Well, I mean, yeah. I also deleted the Discord, so that's part of it. I really appreciate your content and consistency. I feel like a safe place from all the weird tinfoil people. Keeps me sane here. I appreciate that, Raj. I was gonna say you're the tinniest tinfoiler I know, bro. You're the tinniest tinfoiler I've ever met. I'm just kidding. I've met some pretty tinfoily tinfoilers. In Feichman. Maybe that was who it was. I don't know. I can look. Because I think it was only like yesterday or the day before. I don't know if I want to read it on stream. Because it was pretty long. I don't know who posted it though. And I didn't read it, so I don't know if it's actually good or not. I just saw it and they put in a lot of effort, it seemed like. I don't know where it is. I think, is it this one? I think it was this one. No, it was a Green Candle Vandal. So I don't know. I didn't read it. It just looked like he put a lot of effort into it. So maybe it could be worth reading. Probably not, but maybe. You never know. Reddit, what is up right now? Make a few posts every now. Oh, what's up, Kaluka? Make a few posts every now and then just to say F the bots. They can't make me go away. Wasted 3 years on Reddit. Could have just chilled the whole time. I mean, without Reddit, without the hype, you probably wouldn't be in this investment realistically. So, like, for some of you guys, you have to appreciate Reddit and the hype. For me, it's a little different. I got introduced to the stock and started doing the research in a little bit different of a way. But for a lot of you guys, I feel like you do have to give some appreciation to Reddit, even though it is trash. You probably wouldn't know what you probably wouldn't know anything about the business or never would have started researching it without Reddit. I like your idea of trying to cover other topics on separate videos. Once you find your niche and get more viewers, it will get better. I'm glad you're still covering GME. I mean, I want to cover GameStop because, you know, it's a big part of what I'm doing right now. You know, I have literally all of my net worth into GameStop, so it's what I'm interested in this moment, and it's, you know, so it's kind of hard not to make videos about GameStop because I'm kind of attached to it because of my financial incentive, I guess. Or I don't know if it's an incentive, just because of the bet I have on the table, I guess. You know, when I was doing a bunch of sports betting and betting on fighters, I was big into UFC and big on researching like UFC and stuff and the fighters who were fighting, and so I think I just get attached to the things I'm like betting on, you know, and GameStop's the biggest bet I've ever done in my life, so I'm pretty attached to it. And it's also just it is tough to make content about other topics as well, because nobody that really watches my stream or watches my channel cares about a lot of the other things I would talk about. You know, most of you guys are here because of GameStop, and that's what you want to, that's the news you want to hear, that's the topic you want to hear, and I get that. I definitely get that. Wasn't a waste, not gonna lie. I love the tin, but I try not to let it influence my trading. Oh yeah, none of that stuff should influence trading. Trading should be totally separate from everything else. There should be no emotion or anything in trading. Just got priorities kicking for the next 3 months. Like the tinfoil, it entertains me, and I think without it, the holders would be bored years ago. Yeah, probably. Probably. Because, you know, a lot of people aren't... In the beginning, I think it would have been hard to invest because of the business, you know? Their business was dog shit, so, like, you kind of needed the hype and the Reddit and the tinfoil to keep people interested in the business. Now, I think it's simple, you know? You can look at the fundamentals, and I think it's a super easy investment now, and I mean, if you're bored because if you're bored, I mean, you're not investing properly. You should be bored, you know? Like, the people who make the most money in the stock market are probably the people who are the most bored, you know? Over, like, a long period. Super stunk DD writers are fucktards. Well, good to know. Then maybe I won't waste my time reading that. It's funny how it almost never works and people still interpret every single dot Ryan posts. I guess I don't look into it like that anymore, so I don't pay attention to that. I'm also not on Twitter, so I think there's a lot more tinfoil and nonsense on Twitter than there is Reddit these days. I think Twitter is disgusting. I feel like Reddit as a whole has gone downhill since the first squeeze. There's still some good content, but there's so much garbage to sift through. Yeah, I think for me, Reddit's only good, or Super Stonk, whatever, is only good for current events, you know? If something happened like 10 minutes, you know, like this Ryan Cohen interview. I saw that this was uploaded last night, like an hour after it got posted. So it's kind of useful for that, because I'm not looking for these things. I don't really care, you know. A month or two ago, you know, I was a lot more tapped in and finding things that nobody else was finding, but lately I've been lazy, so Reddit has been helpful. Go look at their track record. Last time the line crossed over this line, this happened, and I expect to move in the next 3 weeks. No, that's some quality DD right there, Jeff Slim. What are you talking about, bro? When the line crosses over the other line, that means Moas is coming. Come on, bro. Get with the times, Jeff Slim. Don't you know anything about technical analysis? Just kidding, bro. I learned some stuff. It kept me going, so probably it had a purpose. Still love Reddit. You just have to know where and what to read. Yeah, good point. Then 6 weeks go by, the price goes down, and the post same thing again, and all super stock morons cheer. You compare speculative attempts to actual DD. Be like a effing Chemen or blue box guy who has had a good track record. I see. I people who talk about stocks and technical analysis that's just a complete waste of my time, bro. If you're not talking about business and numbers and real shit, that's you're wasting my time. It doesn't take a fucking genius to put some lines on a chart and be like, the stock's gonna go up when it hits this line. It's gonna go down when it hits this line. Like, that doesn't take any effort or skill or anything, because the stock market is just gambling. Technical analysis is just gambling. Like, sure, there's different technical patterns that if you trade off of them consistently, the one outcome is more likely to happen than another, but in reality, technical analysis is complete garbage. Like, if you don't know how to properly gamble and place your bets properly, technical analysis isn't going to do anything for you, because technical analysis is just like flipping a coin. It's like, yeah, maybe because of a technical pattern that something might be more likely to happen, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So anyone who's talking about technical analysis and chart analysis, and I can't, I don't like that stuff. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's so pointless. Like, watch, you want to see some technical analysis, bro? You ready for this shit? You ready for this shit, bro? You ready for this shit? Let's see. Here, you ready? Line. Whoa, that's some wacky stuff right there. Look at this technical analysis, bro. You can't even hang. I don't like that one. You can't even hang with this technical analysis. Look at that. Look at how technical that analysis is, bro. See, when the line, it hit this line, the stock go up, but when it hit this line, the stock go down. And sometimes when the stock go through this line, it go up higher than when it doesn't hit the line and sell off. This is technical analysis right here. You don't know anything about this. Only true millionaires know how to do technical analysis. You write the line on the chart, and the line it go down, and then this line it go up, but when it touch this line, the stock go up, and if it touch this line, the stock go down, and that's technical analysis right there, huh? Oh, man. I mean, realistically, the stock is pretty bullish, though, in a lot of ways. But that's how most people do technical analysis. I mean, you haven't made a lower low in what? Almost 2 years? Like over 2 years. You haven't seen a lower low on the stock. You've seen some higher highs. Maybe not compared to this, but like you've seen some pretty high highs, but you ain't ever seen a lower low in the past 2 years. That's really all you gotta know. It's like, oh, kind of holding that price. Been holding that price for the past 2 years and only making new highs, and you've seen a lot of solid price action off of those lower prices. Like, that's great. But what's the stock going to be in the next 6 to 12 months? Good luck predicting that. Especially with some technical analysis. His track record's ass. Actual DD I've read it all 2021. It's all nonsense. There's a Simple Man 677 or something like that. What's that guy's name? I forgot. I've read the analysis on the stream before. 877. I don't remember. I know I've made a video about it though. Where is it? Where is it? It's even farther than that. Simple Man 887. This dude has some decent analysis. I don't mind that guy's analysis. But I don't think that's on Reddit. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is. That's the only like actual good analysis because it has really nothing to do with the chart. It's just strictly based off fundamentals, and that's the kind of analysis I can get behind. People talking about charts and whatever. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Doesn't take, like I said, it doesn't take any skill to analyze a chart. Predictions were pretty good regarding EPS and revenue. Like 90% invested, but I still swing trade from time to time. You betting on any World Cup games? No, I don't. I haven't made a sports bet in quite a while, man. The last sports bet I made was Marab versus Umar Nurmagomedov. That's the last sports bet I made, because for some reason the market was giving Marab a plus 300, which made no sense. But there's been a couple good sports bets, quite a few that I would consider decent sports bets the past couple years, but I feel like it's gotten a lot more restrictive, in my opinion. So I don't sports bet anymore. And I never really sports bet on other things, pretty much just UFC. How's my basement coming along? The basement's actually done. I just need to get the concrete laid still. Everyone who keeps saying they'll help me with the concrete keeps bailing on me, so it's done, but I just need to get the concrete done so I can actually, work on aesthetics and make it look nice. But that's not happening because of For the record, I'm very bullish on GME, but I agree with Corey when he says a large portion of the GME community is actually mentally ill cult. I just don't know if a lot of the people in the GME community are, for one, real shareholders, and if they are real shareholders, do they actually have real skin in the game, or do they just have a couple shares and they're like, yep, I'm a GameStop shareholder, and they just talk about GameStop so they can get clicks on their Twitter and likes on their Reddit posts and whatever. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the community, and I've just had a lot of bad experiences the past 2 years of streaming with the GameStop community in general. So, but there's a lot of good people, I've met a lot of good people throughout the community. It's just the majority I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of the majority. But they're not a fan of me, so it works out, right? Maybe if I talked about more nonsense, maybe they would. But funny thing, I remember 2 years ago, before I even started this stream, when I was on Twitter, and everyone thought MOAS was going to happen, and I was the only person telling people that it wasn't going to happen, and I was the bad guy because I didn't think MOAS was going to happen. And 2 years later, look where the stock's at. It's literally at the same price it was 2 years ago. So, if you want to listen to tinfoilers and people who think they know what they're talking about, that's fine. I'm sure it's more entertaining than this, but I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to this type of stuff. So it's hard for me to resonate with a lot of the GameStop community because I'm a real stock market participant who just happened to find GameStop. A lot of these people have been posting and talking about GameStop for the past 5-6 years, so I could get why they don't understand what I'm doing over here. I learned about COVID and the Russian-Ukraine conflict way before it hit the news because I read it. Oh, interesting. That's pretty interesting. Should have done a polymarket bet. Should have done a polymarket bet. TA's BS. Dorito of Doom or Pizza of Progress. Corey gets it. This is what I mean. People upvoted this TA shit for 5 years, and the only thing that has actually been true is that the company fundamentals improved, but I'm the shill. I mean, the technical analysis has improved as well, you know? But I think if most of your analysis is just based off of technical analysis, that's why people think the stock is going to drop below $20, and people are waiting for the stock to drop below $20 to buy it because they haven't done the real financial analysis. They don't actually understand the business. They just look at this chart and they see that support, and if that support ever breaks, if $20 ever breaks, from a technical perspective, this stock should fucking dump. Absolutely dump. When a 2-year bottom breaks, this thing should dump. But it's just probably not going to happen. Like, I think it is so unlikely that it makes a lower low and dumps. Even if it made a lower low, I think it would just get bought up, like, immediately. But, most people look at a chart and that's how they approach the stock market, and technical analysis is easy, diving into numbers and following a story, and value investing it's tough. It takes a lot more work. It takes 3 seconds to look at a chart and use some technical indicators to try to make a prediction. So it's it is what it is, I guess. Just be happy you're not that person, Be happy that through the for me, it's only 2 years, but for the past 5 years, you've been following a story and you've learned a lot about fundamental analysis and what a good business actually looks like. And even in the dark times between 2020 to 2023, when GameStop was only going down after the squeeze, a lot of you guys learned that a stock price going up doesn't necessarily mean anything when the business behind it is still complete garbage. It really was only until the business turned around that it has been a relatively good and safe investment. You aren't Bretsky. Bretsky, isn't that the gambling YouTuber? Isn't that the gambling YouTuber? Don't get me wrong, you're outside the box, so you have your own opinion. I respect that. It's a good thing. You can call me Jay. We're glad you stayed and appreciate you, bro. Happy Independence 250 anniversary. Hey, much love, Jason. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Jason. I got everything I ever earned in GME. I had a job for 5 years, really bad paid. I sold my car because the repairs would have cost too much. Put a couple of gold ounces in GME, which I bought in 2011. Wasn't on holidays for 3 years because I put every penny in GME. Damn. Dedication to the grind. Remember, there's a reason the stock price is purposely held down. Eventually, though, it'll go up largely over time. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think about it from a stock, investor perspective and a trader perspective, the people who shorted at $30 are probably still holding their position. So if this stock continues to do well and the fundamentals of the business continue to grow, eventually they're going to have to close. And, the 4, 5, 6 times we've been up massive the past 2 years, all those gains should come back if my theory is correct. How it's going to look, I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah. Unfortunately, still for not much, but honest and hard work. Well, I mean, Berkshire Hathaway returned 6.1 million% in a 60-year period. So every dollar you invested in Berkshire Hathaway 60 years ago is $6.1 million today. Every dollar you invested in the S&P 500 is $46,000 today. So I don't think it really matters how much you have in the stock. If you're willing to hold for the rest of your life, I mean, anything's possible. You're going to make anywhere between 46,000% and 6.1 million%. So per, you know, like, I don't know, you know, if it goes well, who knows? Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe all of our analysis is wrong and the shorts are right. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Anything Ryan waits for a big dump or buys back shares, or do you think he could start at these levels? I think they're supporting the stock at $20. I think they're supporting the stock at $20. Because if the stock drops below $20, the people who shorted at $30 are going to start closing. So supporting the stock at $20, you know, the people who are shorting at $30, they're betting that the stock floor is going to break and you're going to have a massive dump, which if the stock floor does break, if $20 does break, from a market perspective, you should have a massive dump. That's what the people at $30 are shorting for. So if that never happens, they're never going to close and they're just going to be stuck in the position. So I would imagine they're supporting the stock at $20 with the buybacks. Or 21, I guess. As the company value increases over the long term, its stock price will inevitably go up eventually. Yeah, or you just buy back the shares and you force the market to go up. I think the buybacks have already started, but we won't know until next quarter. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maybe they're not even doing the buybacks yet. Maybe it's just the market supporting the stock at $20. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, we've only watched 10 minutes of this interview so far. I guess we still got all right. let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. If you guys have anything you want to talk about in the chat, post it in. And I'll pause and we'll talk about it, cuz I don't think I'm going to do stream clips anymore. I mean, we'll see. We'll see, but for now, no stream clips. So I can pause the video and talk about whatever whenever. I need to go to the bathroom, though.
Different ways that you could go with your business. Why eBay? Why did you focus on eBay as a potential buy?
Well, there's a few different reasons that kind of all pull me in this direction. One being e-commerce is something I understand, and physical retail I've been learning on the job. And in many ways, it's a very different playbook, physical retail versus e-commerce. So one is it's a business that, given my Chewy experience, I understand very, very well. Number two is as GameStop has moved from a business that was really a dying brick and mortar retailer, it's really like Blockbuster, same kind of forces going against it. And the business has transitioned to today, it's a leader in collectibles.
Yeah.
And I've come.
Do you have a guess on our CEO's favorite color before we reach that part? I've already watched this. I already know what it is. But the funny thing is if you go back to the All In podcast, when he's talking about Chewy, he says that pennies in the red is them failing, but pennies in the black is them succeeding. And then in this, I mean, spoiler alert, his favorite color is black in this interview, so that's kind of funny.
To appreciate the industry and eBay's place in that industry. And so there's a lot of category overlap. And that's what really got me thinking about eBay in the first place, is us going into the collectible space. And then if you look at our refurbished tech business, there's also a lot of overlap in that and the secondhand piece of the business as well. And so there's a lot of reasons why GameStop operationally and eBay make sense, and a lot of opportunity to use the infrastructure of GameStop and really use them as nodes, and use them anything as from studios to logistics and fulfillment and same day authentication. If you look at today, as an example, within trading cards, if you sell a trading card on eBay, you're sending it to a centralized hub. And so it takes time and there's additional cost to it. Whereas we can leverage the stores for same day authentication.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
it's
good.
immediate and it's cheaper. And so you go from like a centralized model for authentication
Yep.
and for fulfillment to a regional model that, there's 1,600 stores within 15-minute drive of like 80% of the US population.
Oh,
So
wow.
So would the authentication process get cheaper and faster then, you would say?
totally.
Would you open it up to other categories outside of just collectibles?
Yeah, eventually, definitely.
Okay, because
And
we've had like shoes, for example. We've sold shoes on eBay that have gone to the authentication hub. And I'll say it is clunky. It's expensive for the buyer. It's like they have to pay additional shipping as well.
yeah, it's
And
really-
then it's also not entirely accurate. We've had items sent back that are
Yeah, your message reminded me, Rosh. I bought a share of eBay the other day because I think if/when this deal goes through, potentially if you only have one share of eBay, you'll have a fractional share potentially. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Obviously, that's a dumb reason to buy an eBay share, but I think it'd be funny to have a fractional share of GameStop. You know, prove that you're a true holder, because only a true holder would have, one share of eBay and have it turn into a fractional.
clearly authentic. That
disappointing.
yeah,
It's
so
disappointing.
that's happened before as well. Okay, so that's an interesting combination there.
Yeah. Could you elaborate on when you said some of the stores could be used as a studio for some of our other sellers out there?
Yeah, I mean, we would offer the ability to use stores as anything from filming content if content creators want to actually film content in the stores.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, just buying GameStop shares is the better choice, but I just thought buying an eBay share would be funny.
And we can handle everything from that to the logistics and the fulfillment side of it. So essentially, whatever you sell, you drop it off at a store, and we can take care of all the fulfillment and essentially acting as like
That's
Um,
a
interesting.
UPS store, FedEx, Kinko service. So
Okay.
that content creators can focus on what they're best at, is content, and then we would basically take care of everything else.
Well, that would definitely pull us off of other platforms.
Yeah.
That actually is very enticing. I like that.
So I think after like talking to a bunch of
I think that part of the interview is super interesting. Him talking about becoming like a UPS or a Kinko's or something like that. Like, that is super interesting. That's just a whole nother business venture outside of everything everyone thinks is going to happen. Super interesting. 5 GME versus 1 eBay. I don't even think about that question. Yeah, hopefully it works out and I actually get the fractional share. If I don't get the fractional share, that would be disappointing. Should have bought this in January. GME will be so big that I fear the cartel laws. Yeah. It's just gonna be like I don't know. Who knows what it's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting though. Investing in a company today only worth 10 billion that's potentially gonna be worth hundreds of billions in the future. That's gonna be interesting. Guess I'm gonna buy one eBay for fun. No, don't do it just because I'm doing it. Only, oh man, like I said, if you don't get the fractional share, that's gonna be dumb. But we'll see, I guess, right? We'll see.
other eBay sellers, including ourselves as well. The most common thing that I heard from people is the thing they're most fearful of is with a big purchase like this, obviously it takes a lot of capital and you're going to want to get that money back at some point. So how do you see increasing eBay's revenue without hurting the seller? Like, will seller fees increase?
We just wanted you to explain this to the sellers to eliminate their fears, because I know how you're going to do it. I've read this, but we want everyone who's watching this video to understand your plan of action and how it's not going to damage their profits.
Because as a seller, I can tell you on eBay right now, I personally feel like we're getting squeezed left and right. The fees are expensive. There's also promoted listing fees, and it's just becoming very expensive to sell on the platform.
So the people, this is true in almost all businesses, but especially in corporate America. The people that are doing the most work are the people who are the least paid. And then you've got middle management, which are basically delegators. And then you have all the fancy titles from the directors and the VPs and the Cs. And essentially what they're best at is PowerPoint presentations, public speaking. They're sweet talkers, but they're not actually real workers. So I would run the business much more efficiently because the people that are actually on the ground doing the work, you basically cut out all the BS in between, and you work with the people that are working with the sellers, that are working with the customers, and you get rid of basically all the noise. And then you actually, that's how you have a feel for the business, is like when you're on the front lines talking to sellers directly. And that doesn't exist anymore. And like as soon as businesses, you develop this level of bureaucracy, you lose a feel for the customer. And everything that I've heard is that eBay's lost a feel for the customer. And so that's where the efficiency is going to come from, is getting rid of all of that bloat. You look at even the performance of the business and how much money is spent on sales and marketing for essentially no growth, when instead you can be growing the business organically by creating better tools, and you create better tools for your sellers and they bring more inventory on the platform, and then boom, all of a sudden more inventory, more sales. So you look at GameStop's marketing budget and it's come down significantly because there's no return on investment in this. And you talk to the marketing team, and again, they're all going to say, well, look here and look there and all this stuff, and it's making money. But most of that money is being lit on fire, and you could see it. I mean, basically, since COVID, eBay's business is down. They've got 30 million less active users.
Yep.
They've basically barely grown, and everybody else in e-commerce, both in the US and globally, has grown considerably because e-commerce is growing, but eBay is not. So
Yeah. So the idea would be to get rid of bloat while increasing revenue, but increasing the revenue would come from getting more sellers and more inventory onto the platform, not from increasing seller fees.
exactly. It would come from sellers doing more business on the platform and actually increasing transaction volume.
Okay. And I mean, I can tell you, like, from our personal side, we've taken a lot of our business off of eBay onto platforms like Whatnot, like live selling platforms. And I know a large portion, I would say more than 50% of our sales now come from live selling platforms outside of eBay, where the majority of our sales used to come directly from the eBay platform. And I think a lot of it has to do with Whatnot being first to market on live selling, and eBay now coming in, and they're starting to do live selling now, which is it's good to see. It's still not as good, I don't think, as other live selling platforms. But one of the things I thought that was kind of concerning with even the eBay doing these the live selling stuff now, is I haven't seen them reach out to sellers and say, hey, come bring your inventory back to eBay. So do you have any way that you would incentivize?
Wait, I want to point out, but you reached out to us to talk to us about how we feel about eBay, which speaks volumes about you and your care for the sellers in regards to eBay.
Yeah.
And they just don't care about us at all. eBay
mean, I
doesn't
wanna
care
say-
about us. They don't reach out to us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, eBay for us, eBay has just been unfortunately now it's just a platform for us to sell on and make money. There hasn't really been that like seller relationship with eBay for a while. And I think it was at one point, back in like 2018 when we went to eBay Open and we had like concierge service and stuff like that.
There was an eBay community for resellers, and there was loyalty and pride as an eBay seller to sell on the platform. And you cared about eBay and you had your gripes. We complained about things, but all of the changes we asked for, not only did they not give them to us, but they wasted an obscene amount of money into some weird corporate pet projects that they just wanted to roll out, like augmented AI back in 2019, or right? That was 2019 or 2018. They gave us this bizarre thing when for, I don't know, maybe last decade, everybody was requesting, please make it so that when buyers buy something from you, they have to pay. They can't just leave you high and dry where you then have to relist the item, because eBay systems don't even relist your item when the buyer never pays.
Yeah.
Like their systems are so not only antiquated, but they're incompetent. Like you can have an antiquated system if it works, that's fine. But if it doesn't work, why are you keeping it? And why aren't you spending money on that? Why are you spending it on ridiculous pet projects that corporate wants to do because it just sounds nice to, I don't know, money for somebody somewhere that
And brand marketing and feel good advertising when everybody knows eBay already exists
Right.
and it's iconic. And so you don't have to be, blowing hundreds of millions of dollars on brand marketing that you basically can't measure. But really, it starts at the top. Like
Unknown. It's been a while, Unknown. Hope you're doing good, bro. Yeah, it's a really good interview. I like it how it's more personal, and these guys have been sellers for a while, so they have a good perspective on eBay as well. Overall, really good.
at the end of the day, you look at my experience, and my father never told me, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. If he would have told me that, then I would tell everyone, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. It's just words. Like, words are meaningless. Leadership, to learn to be a leader, it's by example. It's not what you say, it's what you do. And so if the CEO is not talking to sellers and understanding the issues with the business, then no one's going to care. If you're not focused on making your customers happy and the CEO, that's not his number one job, then no one at the company is going to care because they're just going to follow what the CEO does. So, at Chewy, I would take customer service calls myself. If someone went and said, I want to talk to the CEO, I would talk to them.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, everyone in customer service understands it's really important. We have to make the customers happy.
You're going to be getting a lot of eBay.
The UPCs will be so expensive and way above MSRP. Oh yeah, everyone's going to be selling the Pokemon 30th anniversary above MSRP. It's inevitable. It's such a hyped product. Such a hyped product. Potentially one of the most hyped products that's been released in the past couple years. Very it's going to be an interesting drop for sure. When does Pokemon 30th actually drop? I know pre-orders came out, but when does it actually come out? I follow eBay and some employees on LinkedIn. It's crazy. The day after Ryan announced his desire to buy eBay, they started a huge marketing offensive, and it seemed like every employee of high rank was forced to produce content. Huh. They post about stuff they are working on and almost finished. That's pretty weird. That is weird. Yeah, they have to sell eBay to us now after these interviews. If they don't, every seller would probably follow Ryan onto our new platform. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to all be based on shareholders and what shareholders think, whether it's going to get done or not. So if, enough people buy eBay shares and enough people vote to have Ryan take over the company, whether we actually buy it or not, in reality, the best thing for eBay investors is potentially rolling over eBay into the new business without taking any money. Just give the board of directors and the CEO their golden parachutes and send them off on their way. But maybe the shareholders vote for, the half cash, half stock offer. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to do this? But at the end of the day, it's all about shareholders. Shareholders are going to vote this in. eBay shareholders specifically. GameStop shareholders have no relevance in this. It's eBay shareholders and anyone's opinions, perspectives. It's all irrelevant because it's going to come down to a vote by the eBay shareholders. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Doesn't help that I live in Europe, the UPC in November, and the set on September 16th. Okay, appreciate that, David. Thank you, bro. Thank you, David.
Goals.
Not if you
We're
make
gonna
the
fix the
changes you
business.
want.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that, like, outside of the seller fees going up, I think the next biggest concern I heard from other eBay sellers is just that, is customer service. Because customer service used to be decent. Pre-COVID, I would say it was okay. They had that thing, concierge service, where I could literally pick up the phone and talk to someone stateside in 3 minutes, and they would handle my concern.
And they would fix it.
And they would fix it.
Actually fix a problem. They were very competent customer service
for
as
sure.
well. They were useful and helpful and
Yeah.
kind.
But that was 8 years ago, and since then it's gotten unbearable. So, and like you said, with Chewy, what, a third of the company was customer service? A third of the employees?
I mean, it was a significant amount. And by the way, it was not it wasn't an expense, it was an investment. If you look at what happens, you make your customers happy, and all of a sudden they start telling other people, and that's the best marketing you can get, is referrals and word of mouth. And from customer service, we would get all kinds of intel in terms of what are the additional products that our customers want, what are the problems on the website, what's broken. So and the people who work in customer service would end up working, by the way, and that's what it means. Basically, people would go from customer service to work in merchandising and marketing and supply chain. They were the ones that were most qualified to work in these departments because they understood the customer. So if you don't understand the customer, you're not going to do a good job.
Right.
And I mean, in this case, if you're not talking to sellers and you're not understanding what are the problems with the platform, why all of a sudden are you moving your business to Whatnot? Why does Whatnot even exist?
Yeah.
By the way, you do a good job, and you're not going to have competition because your customers aren't going to want to go anywhere else. There's no one else, by the way, that's racing to build another Chewy. It's Chewy and Amazon was there before I started. They started in 1999. So no one's racing to go and sell pet food online anymore. But yet, within eBay's business model, look at all of the competitors that have developed and picked off significant portions of their business. And that's why the business has basically been like this, and e-commerce has basically taken off.
I mean, I can tell you as a matter of fact, when we started on Whatnot, outside of Amazon, we only sold on eBay and Amazon. That was it.
Not all the other platforms.
Not all
everybody else.
Whatnot was the third platform that we ever sold on, and it was because they reached out to us and said, "Hey, give us a shot. We'll pay you to come onto the platform. Come try it out and do it." When that happened, if Whatnot reached out to us and eBay was also developing live, and they said, "Hey, why would you do that, guys? You already are established on eBay. You have a customer base. We're the biggest platform in the world. Why would you do that? Just go live on eBay." If that had happened, we would never have even sold on Whatnot to begin with. Now we've done more revenue on Whatnot than eBay.
And Whatnot incentivized us to sell more by giving us, whatever the incentive was, like reduced fees if you hit a certain threshold. And then it pushed us to put even more of our products onto their platform, which was very clever. And it was they systematically stole resellers from other platforms, and they systematically went through every reseller on social media first. They went through all of us, and then they started to go to people beneath, right under, that were big sellers but maybe didn't have a big following. So it was very clever, and they took a ton of business from eBay because they were systematic. They knew what they were doing.
They've done a great job.
So I wanted to ask you real quick about the actual buyout, just for a second. So obviously it's a big deal, and eBay has initially rejected the first offer. So is your plan now to just go the hostile takeover route?
The plan is to do whatever it takes.
Okay.
And ultimately it's going to come down to shareholders. And really what's really happening here is it's just deciding it's a leadership change because
Yeah.
shareholders, what we are proposing is that
Nah, eBay's live selling has been around for a while. That's not true. Don't be spreading fake info in my chat, Rosh. What are you doing? But yeah, eBay Live has been a thing for a while. I appreciate you stopping in, Dunn. Appreciate you. For the acquisition announcement, I didn't even know eBay had live selling. Yeah, it's just not very. I don't think they really promote it. I think I've seen a couple ads about it, but I think it's super restrictive to get in, and yeah, I just don't think they promote it. Saw it the first time in a sponsored ad after Ryan Cohen's interview. And it's been a thing for like a couple of years now, I'm pretty sure. I remember when they first implemented it. I've been selling on eBay for a while, so I always get updates through email and stuff. I don't know exactly when it started, but it's been a while. When did eBay start eBay Live? That's not it's not giving me the correct answer. eBay Live began in 2000. I don't know if this is giving me... Oh, eBay Live is an event. They're not giving me what I want. eBay Live's like an event, but it's been out for a while. For some reason, the AI won't give me the proper answer. Frickin' AI. Garbage! That's why your energy bill is up 100%, is so it can give you incorrect information. It's awesome, huh? That's awesome. Mr. Beakers. What's up, Mr. Beakers? June 22nd, 2022. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been a while. It's been out for a while. Bought one night UPC for 350 euros, probably the lowest price I'm ever gonna see in Europe. I mean, I guess it just depends how this drop goes, you know? It's either gonna be super limited or it's gonna be overproduced, and you know, it's still gonna be a highly demanded product no matter what, even if it is overproduced. But if it's not limited, I think it'll be easier to get than you think. But I guess that's, you know, who knows? Who knows? Confused because I saw them announce it on LinkedIn a couple weeks ago. Maybe it's just an update. Yeah, it's probably an update. It's been out for a while. Obviously, I can't get the real answer, but maybe Kalaluka's answer is correct.
it's basically half cash and half rolling over their equity. So essentially, they still own eBay. It's just you're deciding who's more qualified and who do you want to run the business and who's going to be a better fiduciary of the business. Basically, the current management team or me.
And I think I also want to make a big point here that this isn't you buying a company and then putting people in place and hoping that it runs well. You're investing a lot of your own personal money into this purchase, and you're taking a personal role in the business.
Yeah, I'm going to run it myself.
Right. And I do want to point out that, Brian, you've mentioned a couple of times in prior interviews that you see eBay's upper management with perverse intentions financially. Could you elaborate a little bit on that? Because I know that people hear you're going to save money by cutting costs, and I don't want them to fear that you would do something, for example, like cut the budget for the engineers for eBay. you would be removing excess bloat. And could you elaborate a little bit more for our audience on that bloat?
Yeah, well, I am. So when I say perverse incentives, when you have a management team that's not invested and basically gets stuff for free
Mm-hmm.
and they're not taking any risk, then that's a perverse incentive. I am going to be investing my own money into acquiring the company at $125 a share. And I
Yeah.
don't get management fees. I'm not taking a salary. I have not taken a salary from GameStop,
Right.
not a dollar. And it would be the same thing here. And I'm not going to do well unless the business grows. Otherwise, my equity is going to be going down in value. If I maximize shareholder value and I make money for shareholders, then I make money for me. And if I screw up the business, then I end up losing. So, like, it's a very simple concept. I'm going to be an owner. Business does well, I benefit. If it doesn't, well, then I'm going to end up losing a lot of money. And
Yeah.
that's not the plan.
It's a big
So,
risk.
I personally want someone in charge when they have their own skin in the game and their own money on the line. This upper management, they lose a bunch of money. We all suffer. They don't suffer. They don't lose a penny. I mean, it doesn't seem like the economics of eBay are very balanced right now. And it seems like you would have it a bit more balanced in the future.
So if I don't make the sellers happy and they're not doing more business on the platform, that's not going to be good for my business.
Right.
And there's no heads I win, tails you lose. Like, I need the business to do well in order for me to benefit. And the business is going to do well if the sellers are happy and are doing more business on the platform. So what does that mean? It means, more reasons to do more business with eBay and less reasons to take your business elsewhere.
Love
I'm
that.
not going to sell too much pet food at Chewy if we ship slowly.
Mm.
And
Break Nation. What's up, Break Nation? How you doing, man? When was this interview? It was posted last night.
if we charge more than our competitors, you're going to shop somewhere else and take your business elsewhere if you're not happy with me.
Just a side note, my dad actually just recently used Chewy and he said it was a great experience. So the company's still
it's still doing great.
It's amazing, yeah. Yeah.
I buy my
insane.
dog food from a local pet store, actually.
But I have a really
Well, that's
serious
good.
question, Ryan. Very serious question. Why Diet Coke?
I don't know if I have sugar all day. I need to.
How many Diet Cokes are you drinking a day?
I drink that. I drink ginger ale.
Okay.
Sometimes I switch it up if I want to get crazy with like a little bit of Fanta. If I'm feeling
Oh,
wild.
don't you wanna?
Don't you?
There's a marketing campaign that went well.
It's like Orange Crush. It's basically like
It's
Orange
so
Crush.
good. We have those
Like-
we have those little like Mio like flavor enhancer things, like the strawberry lemonade ones. That's
Yeah.
the only way I'll drink a lot of water. I got to put those 0-calorie things in my water.
It's in my water right now, and I'm like, I just want to keep drinking it. It's so good.
Right? Yeah, because like just
It's such-
water is boring. It has,
It's so boring.
yeah.
It is boring. It's true.
That's funny. Let me ask you this question. Let's say we're in the grand scheme of things, we're smaller sellers on eBay. But let's say I was a seller, 20, $30 million a year seller. Why should I be excited about this acquisition? Like, what do you feel is going to change for me that I should be excited about?
Going to make the business stronger, going to make the business better. And I want sellers to have a better experience. Like
Okay.
the business needs to do right by sellers. Sellers unequivocally are the customer. And I don't act or behave like an owner because when you say something like that, it's like you're pretending. There's no pretending. It's either you have all your chips, on the table and you've got everything on the line, or you don't. You don't fake that. So it's not like we're gonna behave or act like owners.
Right.
I'm gonna run the business like Chewy, and I'm gonna run the business like GameStop, which is I've got everything on the line.
Yeah.
And if I don't make the customer happy, I'm not gonna have a business. So
Or
I can't tell, so, like it's not up to me to tell other people how they feel and
sure.
whether they should, but I'm going to be an owner because I am an owner and because I'm going to have everything on the line. And ultimately, I believe that's going to translate into a better experience. And if
For
I screw it
everybody.
up, well, then I'm the one that's going to lose the most. So I better not screw it
Yeah.
up.
Do you see an avenue for sellers to be able to like give suggestions or address concerns that they're having with eBay, and then you guys be able to fix those in like a systematic way? The reason I ask, in 2018, we brought up to eBay's upper management that there was an issue with buyers not paying. That was in 2018, and they told us in 2018 that they were going to fix the
Yeah.
website so that that'll never happen again. They said give us a year, and I was like, you know what, a year is a long time, but I'm willing to wait, no problem.
We've been
Here,
waiting a decade.
here we are, 8 years later, and
Any day now, any day now.
any day now. Dude, literally, if I got a hold of someone at eBay, I bet you that would still be their answer. Like we're working on it. There's like a little bit of in place stuff, but we're gonna get there one day. Like,
Unfortunately, historically with eBay, this is what's happened. They say they're going to make these changes, right? And then we'll complain for 5, 6, 7, 8 years about how that's never changed. And then we go to an event and someone pulls me aside and they say, hey, we're working on that. We're going to change that one day. We're going to change that soon. And I tell them, hey, I'm excited, and just call us whenever you're ready and we'll make a video about it.
crazy, dude.
We haven't gotten a call yet.
Yeah.
It's
So
run like the government. That's it. It's literally run like the government. It's like nobody gives a shit. And by the way, when you're getting paid a lot of money, regardless of the performance, then it's like, what's the incentive? What's the incentive?
That's a good
Like
point.
it's the perverse incentives. It's
it is.
the web. I mean, by the way, there's nothing wrong with visually things looking like they were from 1995. Maybe visually
Huh?
that's better.
Yeah.
Amazon's front end still basically looks the same. But
Yeah.
if you
It's
look at
true.
Seller Central as an example,
Yep.
you know, Seller Central, you don't have to go outside of Amazon's ecosystem because you can do everything in Seller Central.
Yep.
And my understanding is power sellers are using all kinds of third-party tools, spending a lot of money on third-party tools because the back end sucks on the core marketplace business and also on live commerce. And so and then on live commerce, having a front end that's basically similar to other people in the space that are successful versus antiquated technology and a shitty basically UX. So um, it's doing the basics really well. It's not rocket science. Selling pet food online, what does it mean? It means you got to ship quickly, you got to be competitively priced. If you screw up, 24/7 US based customer service, you make the customers happy, everything takes care of itself. eBay's business, you make the sellers happy, everything is going to take care of itself.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, we will take care of things as we always do.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to college to learn that. Like
No.
it'd save a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars in
Yeah.
college to realize in
Yeah.
business. If you make your customers happy, you're gonna have a strong, good
Yeah.
business.
I
And you'll be more
also,
profitable.
yeah, the on the marketing side of things, I know eBay spends a lot of money on marketing, and even as someone like who sells on eBay and knows eBay, I hardly.
Do you think Ryan will ever come back for Chewy? I was looking at Chewy's stock the other day, and if you actually look at it on Thinkorswim, it bounced off 17.4, which is kind of weird. But Chewy's stock has kind of been in the shitter. Like, if it keeps not doing well, do you think Ryan would come back for Chewy? I think that would be kind of interesting. I think that'd be kind of interesting. I don't know why I just randomly thought of that, but I was thinking about it recently. The interview was a complete wash of nothingness. Maybe you didn't watch it. Maybe that's your problem. You don't listen. You don't have a brain that actually like processes information that's being put into your head. I could see why you think it's nothingness, but
hardly ever see their
Whatever.
advertising at all.
So
So
take your negativity somewhere else, bud. Nobody gives a shit here.
I don't know where that marketing budget's going. But you have other companies like I've been seeing Vinted ads everywhere lately. They're making a huge push into the American market, and I've Whatnot's everywhere. And the bigger thing too is like Whatnot does a lot of influencer marketing as well. So I do you think that eBay's marketing budget is just it's not being used in the correct way?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, when you look at basically spending $2.5 billion and, for 1 million new users, basically spending
That's
2,500 bucks a customer,
It's crazy.
looks like it's basically being wasted.
Wow.
They would be better
Oh,
off
looks like
just
it.
walking around giving out gift cards for eBay of $2,500 to random people and just having them spend the
Yeah.
money on the platform then at that point.
Give me $1,000 a customer. I'll get you off much.
Exactly.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, they just don't even know how to do the marketing. Do we want to go into fun questions?
Yeah.
This is the end. Or
YOLO.
are we? Yeah? All right. So Ryan, I had a question for you.
I keep thinking you're talking.
I know, I'm so sorry. There's all
I
these
like your,
Ryans
by the
everywhere.
way, I love your name.
Dude, the name is the greatest. The
Like,
greatest. I think you should
incredible.
change eBay to Ryan Bay, and only Ryans are allowed to shop on the platform, and it's over. It's done.
I like it.
Stock will go
Genius.
crazy.
Amazing.
I shop on Ryan Bay.
Yeah. Well, you
Okay.
can't. You'd have to ask me, and then
Oh, I have to ask permission.
only I can shop. Only Ryan.
Ryan's.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's fair. There's probably a portion of the
You gotta submit your ID.
population is for Ryan.
All right, go. Sorry, my bad. Go.
Okay. So, in the Japanese culture, there is
I thought this was a fun interview, and he was more personal than he's ever been on any other interview. So maybe you didn't like it because you didn't get the information you were looking for. But what were you looking for in reality? Do you think the stock is going to go up because some random YouTuber made an interview with Ryan Cohen? Like, is that what you're looking for? Because that's not real. That's not reality. So I don't know. I enjoyed this interview, and I think a lot of people did. So why you're a hater doesn't really make sense. I think he might buy it back in the future. He built it from the ground up. He would definitely be interested in the company he created. Yeah, that's what I would think. And he would also already, like, from the get-go, know exactly what to do to make it more profitable and more efficient than it is currently. If it's not being managed efficiently currently. Like, it seems like Chewy's growing relatively well, but maybe it could be growing faster. I don't know. But, yeah, I think it would be interesting. Also, if the market continues to beat Chewy down, I think that would be a reason why people would, or why he would want to buy it, He wouldn't own eBay, GameStop would, and that's a retailer like Amazon, and that's what you will get is an Amazon. He said it. No, that's not. Obviously, you didn't listen to the interview, judging by your messages. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like I said, your negativity's not welcome here. If you don't have anything positive to say or any value to bring, then don't type in my chat. Because as of right now, you're just talking about things that don't matter at all. And I don't know why you're even typing in my chat at this moment. He does eBay packs similar to Power Packs. You get random stuff, could be worth a lot, but at least 75 of what you bought or something like that. eBay packs? eBay packs? That's funny, bro. That would be kind of interesting. He speaks about shareholders and not needing to satisfy them and not enjoy... What? What? I don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. Price is what is killing eBay. It's why Amazon is number one. They force price competition. No, that's not true. Amazon's number one because it's the most convenient and it's competitive. eBay isn't competitive right now. If eBay becomes more competitive than every other platform, eBay will be number one. So I don't know what you're talking about. Look it up on differences legally related to eBay versus Amazon. Do you even know what you're talking about? What does Amazon have to do with this? What is this guy even talking about, bro? What is this guy even talking about? Amazon has nothing to do with this. Why are you talking about Amazon? It doesn't even make sense. I think he's having a stroke. Maybe you should try to present your information in a better way because nobody knows what you're talking about.
Is a phrase. Well, there's a word and it means a phrase and it's called ikigai. And what this word is it's your reason for being. It's the thing that wakes you up in the morning, that gets you out of bed, and it's what you want to open your eyes for. It's like the reason for living. And I was just wondering, currently, like, what is your ikigai in this life? Like, what gets you up, awake, and out of bed in the morning and excited for life?
Well, I was not ready for that.
Oh, that's a deep question.
Whoa.
Sorry, I know the ikigai is a deep one, and I randomly with people I'll be like, well, what is even your ikigai? And then I'll explain it to them. They're like, I don't even know what makes me happy.
Philosophy lesson, I think.
I'm here to work.
Yeah.
I'm here to be productive member of society.
Productive member of society.
What is your ikigai, chat? Chat, what is your ikigai? Amazon had a marketplace just like eBay, and it failed until Amazon forced sellers to compete for low prices. What does Amazon have to do with this? You're not answering any of the questions. You're just typing the random things in the chat. What does Amazon have to do with GameStop buying eBay? If eBay is owned by a retailer, they are no longer a venue only. Who cares? What does that matter? Why does that matter? You're just talking. You're not giving any reason why that matters, because it doesn't. My ikigai's getting more GameStop shares. Yes. Okay, well, when you can explain why that matters, you let me know.
But what makes you happy?
Wait,
though?
hold on. I want to pause on that though, because being a productive member of society means that you want to put in more than you're taking, because your family, I'm assuming, instilled that into you whenever you were a young child. They showed you that you can't take more than you're giving because then there's nothing left. And you seem like the type of an individual who, if you're the CEO of a company, you would give more than you're taking. Definitely, I would see that.
Yeah, I mean, that is what brings me fulfillment, is being productive. And if I'm not building, and if I'm not being productive, if I'm not working, then I mean, I've tried to do other things like hobbies, like normal people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it just, and I know some people basically get enjoyment out of that stuff, but it
Ryan, have
doesn't.
you ever played pickleball?
No, I have not.
No, you're in
I've
South
heard about
Florida.
it, but I've not.
It's like the pickleball capital of the world.
Yeah,
I play every day. That's what I was asking.
yeah.
It's a fun game. You should play.
Yeah. And
If you
no, a lot
want
of
cardio 4 hours a day, play pickleball because you might get addicted and
It's
play
wonderful.
4 hours a day.
It's a wonderful.
yeah. Um, no, sports are good too. It gives people discipline, and work is important because the same reasons. It's just discipline, and so that's what brings me fulfillment.
Building something.
Yeah.
Amazon is a retailer-owned marketplace, just like Walmart's online marketplace have different laws applicable because they are retail-owned. GameStop owning eBay makes it retail-owned. Really simple. Yes, you've said that like 4 times now. Why does that matter? Do you not know how to explain why that matters? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you have any proof of what you're talking about? Or did you just make this up? Did you just like do some mushrooms or something and now you just like think you know what you're talking about? It matters as to what can be sold. It matters in liability. Look it up. Case law. Okay. How do I look it up? Chat repeat. Do I have to use AI? Is that how you make up things and think you're intelligent? Is by using AI? Here, should we? I don't think I should entertain this guy. I think I'm wasting my time. What is the difference between a retail owned marketplace versus whatever? What is it? What am I looking up? What is the difference here? I don't know. What's eBay considered? What did he say? I forgot what he said. Versus eBay. I don't know. We'll do that. Well. This? Where are you getting your information from? I see a bunch of random websites. This is where you're getting your information from, is random websites. You're not getting your info from an actual like legitimate law website or anything like that. You're just like, what? What? A marketplace is a selling environment where third-party sellers offer products directly to consumers through a platform. In this model, the seller is typically responsible for products listings, pricing, promotions, inventory, performance. Platform provide. Okay, you have no clue what you're fucking talking about, dude. Oh my god. In a retail model, a retailer purchases products from a brand or supplier, then resells those products to the end customer. Oh yeah, I see. I shouldn't have entertained it. I wasted my time. I wasted my time with someone who has no clue what they're talking about. What a surprise.
Obviously you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything you want at this point in life. Do you have like a favorite place that you've been?
Like in the world?
Yeah, in the world. Where's a place that just resonates with you?
What if you could make a song using only your voice?
Oh no, an ad!
If you look at Dubai,
yes, MS units, whatever. eBay is a marketplace, but guess what? GameStop is going to be GameStop. They're going to continue to do the business they do on GameStop. eBay is going to be owned by GameStop, but is still going to be eBay. I know that's very difficult for you to understand. GameStop will own eBay, but they're going to do business separately. And in some ways, they will do business together, but what you are talking about is completely irrelevant. And if you can find me an actual legitimate law or legitimate government website that can agree with what you're talking about, I'll read it. But you have no fucking clue what you're talking about, dude. Literally no fucking clue.
Dubai, as an example, what they've built there in a very short period of time is very impressive. And it's a country filled with immigrants, Russians, Filipinos, Pakistans, and everyone is there basically just to work hard. And in many cases, the people that are working there, they've left their families.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're sending money back home, but it's like 24/7. They're building buildings that would take us here 10, 15 years to build. They're building it in a year. So when I see something like that, uh, I have respect for it because that's the way. It's like, let's get stuff done.
So about Dubai now, do
And by
you?
the way, I mean, China similarly,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
look at what they've done in China in the past 40 years, I mean, they've lifted 700 or 800 million people out of poverty. And I mean, politically, it's going on. That's a whole other separate topic. But you look at what, the US has done in 250 years, they've done it. And, we can say that, their way of life is different, their values are different, but
Oh, here, I'll entertain him one more time. Why can't Amazon sell used product? Oh, look, we get an AI answer. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Amazon does sell used product. You can buy used shit on Amazon, so I don't actually. I think this person's baiting me because you can literally sell used shit on Amazon. I can look up any book. What's a book? I don't even need to look up a book. Let's click on something. I'll click on this tablet. This tablet. Let's see. Used like new. Huh. That's weird. Certainly looks like you can sell used things on Amazon. Okay. Yep, you definitely know what you're talking about.
you look at the size of the economy and lifting people up from poverty into middle class.
Yeah.
Like they work hard.
I will say I've never met harder working people.
It's funny how he has to go with the personal insults because he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's pretty funny how that works. Oh man. Oh man. Crazy. Crazy. What's up, Power Ranger? What's up, Isaiah? Deja Vu, what up? Insane. Insane. Fucking sane. Why argue this? Because people can't admit when they're wrong and they think they're smarter than they actually are, and that's just life. Or he's trolling. We do have a lot of trolls that watch this stream, so could just be a troll because they know I'll engage, but once you pull the personal insults out, that's where it ends because clearly you have no clue what you're talking about when you have to insult someone instead of pointing them in the right direction to research what you're talking about. Because I looked up multiple things that he told me to look up and it has no relevance to what he was talking about. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why people think they're smarter than they actually are, but it is what it is.
People. We spent a year in Australia, and on the way back to America, we just spent 5 days in Beijing, and those people work so hard.
The Chinese work so hard.
Crazy.
Nobody has any understanding of how incredibly hard the Chinese people work. It's amazing. But what I'm hearing, Ryan, about you talking about Dubai and you talking about China, you're talking about these giant
new SEC filing. Yeah, I figured that would drop today. They probably haven't updated their position though, so that's really the only thing I'd be looking for. Because at the bottom of all these 425s, they haven't updated their position. Yeah, still 4.3 million shares, 39 million put call pairs. Doesn't look like any updates there. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything new there. What'd the stock close at? 2280? Not bad.
Giant entities that have been built that not only are incredibly impressive, but they're otherworldly almost whenever you compare them to the rest of the world, right? Like what even compares to Dubai? And it's amazing because I listen to you talk about these places, but then you always mention the people and how hardworking they are and how that place wouldn't exist if it weren't for these people. And you do always put an emphasis on the people. And I do want to point out to everybody listening to this that they should pay attention to what you're saying, because you do always focus on the little guy and being a contributing member of society and putting in the hard work, and you see something being successful. If everybody underneath is successful and they do well and they put in the hard work, then you get this like amazing product at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much maybe the only thing that I respect is hard work. And, you
Yeah.
know, I don't like whatever someone's personal beliefs or values, you know, I don't care. The only thing I care about is, and what I respect is someone who works hard.
Wow.
So if someone's like that, then I want to be their friend and they're my friend. And if they don't work hard, well, then I don't like them.
Yeah, you don't like grifters, that's for sure.
Done.
I love that. Okay, I have another really fun question. What's your favorite childhood cartoon?
Oh, that's a good question because we're like similar age.
Yeah, we're only 2 years younger than you. We're 88 babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're similar.
South Park is really funny.
Let's go.
I mean, I love South Park as an adult so much. Yes.
I don't know if that's childhood or
That works.
really
Do
funny.
you ever see the Book of Mormon? I love that play.
It was amazing.
I saw the play a while ago.
Yeah,
It
Yes.
was
so-
good. Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
I like that.
See if I'll try to find it real quick, just so you have a. I know I already mentioned it, but I guess I'll throw some proof in here. Why not? All in.
Everyone hates GameStop.
Let's see. I think I can use a transcript maybe to find it. Penny. Red. How come they don't? I guess I'll look it up this way. Penny. Yeah, right here. Right here.
Barriers. It was a game of pennies, and we were the goal was to grow quickly and establish market leadership, and the difference between failure and success was, pennies in the red is failure, and pennies in the black is success. So
there, pennies in the black is success. He's referencing green, which, he should be referencing green. I don't know if he actually is. Obviously, this is some tinfoil nonsense. But then, he gets asked the question, what's his favorite color?
Black.
I like that. Favorite dessert?
I like chocolate a lot.
Just on
Chocolate,
anything?
Love chocolate.
Milk, dark or white?
Dark.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good choice. Favorite cut of
Really
meat?
dark.
Really dark. Extra dark.
90%.
Yeah, like 90%
9.9%.
plus.
Yes. I like it.
You just want it to be dust in your mouth. It's so dark.
That's how I am with coffee. I want it to be like, I want it to hurt me when I drink it.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'll get acid reflux. I need coffee with my cream at this point. It's bad. Favorite all-time video game? That's a good question because you own GameStop, right? So
Yeah.
That's a good question.
shit.
Well, I have to say, I'm pretty good at Mario Kart.
Ooh, any day, anytime, any place.
Okay, I'm gonna take you up on that.
Any day. But it's got to be.
I won't see first place Ryan because honestly,
I'm so good at Mario Kart.
friend who was so amazing, no one could beat him. Ryan played him 3 times, and you schooled him.
Yeah.
And he got to the point where he would throw a temper tantrum if he didn't win because Ryan destroyed him. Let's go.
But it's got to be the N64 version.
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Let's go. I'll play you for eBay. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll go with a couple of deeper questions. If that's okay. So, what's something you stopped doing that improved your life more than anything you started doing?
This is tough.
That's a
I
tough
don't
one.
even know how to answer that question.
Yeah. Are there options?
Yeah, what
Is
are
this
the
multiple choice?
Oh, here's so scrolling. A lot of people give up scrolling, for example. a bad habit? Have you ever given up a bad habit that you were like, I didn't recognize this was a bad habit, and then you stopped doing it and it improved your life? Maybe you kept telling yourself, oh, if I do this, it'll be fine, but then you committed to no longer allowing yourself to just let that go and it changed anything? I don't know.
Mm.
I get mine would be staying up late.
Yeah, staying up
I-
late for me fixed a lot of
Just
issues.
getting enough sleep, I think, is important.
Social media in general, like with the exception of Twitter, is something that is one of the worst things to happen to society.
I agree.
I agree.
And people are easily manipulated on it, and people
Mhm.
upload pictures and videos of a life that doesn't exist. Uh, and it's really a terrible thing. And so not even just from a productivity standpoint, but just from a values standpoint, uh, it's very, very bad. And instead of having things that teach people like the value of hard work and having good values and being responsible and finding happiness through the simple things in life, people are being manipulated by a complete fabricated lifestyle that people are uploading pictures and videos that are filtered, and they're showing that they're so happy doing these things when they're really not, that ultimately people who are doing it are actually like the most depressed, and
Yeah.
that's why they're doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Or they're
So-
doing it just to post it to
Because they feel obligated to
yeah.
show everybody what they're doing with their lives. It's funny.
Yeah.
We have social media, but I don't social media. I'm really bad at even texting. I don't even really, I just stay off of my phone, and it's great. I love not social mediaing. So you could say you've just given up what people think and say about you and the whole interacting on social media because it doesn't benefit you in any way. And you just focused on Twitter for professional
Yeah, and I
situations.
mean it's really stupid. It's really
Yeah.
bad. It's toxic.
I did this thing once, which I feel like a lot of people should do this. I did this thing where it was the amount of time that I spend on social media in a day, I have to go run that same amount of time. So it's like if I spend 20 minutes on Instagram, I got to go run for 20 minutes.
But if it was
And-
personal, not work stuff.
No, at all.
Oh,
And
at
social
all?
media,
So
I was
that's
like,
hard 'cause
I
of
gotta go
work.
run. So yeah, I was, and it made me put my phone down. It was good. I should probably do that again. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone listening here, maybe
Do it. Yeah.
yeah, do it. All right, next question. People know you for what you've built, but outside of the business world, what do you hope people see in you as a person? How I see you as a person is you're not scared to get your hands dirty, and you truly put value in your team and you want to pull them up with you. You don't want to win off of their backs.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't make your customers happy, you don't have a business. If you're not willing to roll up your sleeves, and it's um it's not even just leadership by example, by the way. Like physical labor feels good.
It does.
It actually
does.
feels good. Like I like to vacuum. I like to clean. Like I like to lift heavy things. Like I like
Mhm.
to sweat and work. It feels good. It makes us feel good. Feels way
does.
better doing that than sitting on the computer.
Yeah.
So
And
I
watching
think
someone else
that
clean. Yeah.
yeah, like I think that as America has developed, as we've moved away from a manufacturing society to basically the economy is based on consumption and buying products from other countries, and like we don't work anymore in this country. We don't want to roll up our sleeves and do physical labor, and we like to delegate it. And I think that it's healthy and it feels good to sweat and to work hard and to do things physically. So it's not even just like to teach other people to do it. It actually, I don't know, the chemicals in my brain release positive things that
No,
You
it's
get
true.
dopamine
feel
from
good.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
There
you
you go.
actually do release endorphins and receive dopamine from doing hard work
Yeah.
because you see the value in it.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
exercise is 5 times more
Beneficial
beneficial
than
than
antidepressants. Yeah,
It's good to work hard, exercise.
it is.
I think that this is probably a good point to kind of wrap
Yeah.
things up. So I think the last question would be, the majority of the people watching this video, at least at the beginning, are going to be current eBay sellers. Most of our watchers are, I would say, small to medium-sized eBay sellers. So what would you say to them to just kind of ease their worries of a transition?
I am going to make sure that eBay is going to fucking win.
Let's
Basically,
go.
it's that simple. It's going to fucking win. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to be
Nice.
a very strong business, and I'm gonna get rid of the bullshit. And I've I've got everything on the line.
Thanks, Mike.
No, an
See you next month.
ad.
So you can get these delivered?
It's literally water.com.
Not because I have to, because I want to, because I believe in the company. I believe in the potential, and I see exactly what the sellers see in this. And so, this is something that I want to do for a long time, and I want to invest in it. I want to grow it, and it's going to fucking win.
Let's go.
I mean, it's your icky guys to build something.
That's it.
So if that's your whole
That's
point of
it.
being and you're going to build this business, I say, let's go.
Exactly.
Hey, seriously consider bringing back eBay Open, the big eBay Open events. They do like little ones, but they used to do a huge one in Vegas with all the sellers.
Yeah.
I think it might be a good place to do it is in Orlando. Bring it to Florida, and we
Oh,
can
yeah.
thousands of sellers in Orlando doing a big eBay event.
That would be
sick.
awesome. I think our final question, though, that we wanted to close with was how likely do you think that this is? Like percentage wise, if you had to just take a wild guess.
Well, I'm a little bit superstitious, so I
Okay.
don't want
We don't wanna
I
say.
don't want yeah, I don't want to say a number, but what I'd say is the general consensus is that everybody thinks it's very unlikely. I saw something on like Polymarket where it was like 14 or 15%
That's not bad.
chances.
How do we get that up?
That's not bad.
How do we
Yeah,
raise
so there's
that?
a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Well-
But I like that, by the way, because if the odds of success with Chewy were very low, GameStop basically
Yeah.
Yep.
was a dying brick and mortar retailer, and now the company is doing better than it ever has in its history. And this is compared to, by the way, when people were lined up, back when GameStop was the queen of the ball and people were lined up in the malls for the next hardware and software releases.
I remember that
Yeah.
in the
So-
malls.
Well,
So I like the low odds. It's
you have a good track record as the underdog, so we're definitely rooting for you.
Well, if enough people see this and understand you as a person and they see, what you love to do, you're passionate about this, your lack of desire to keep throwing money into a trash can and lighting it on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's basically what eBay's doing right now. Hopefully, we can help enough people see that this is a positive thing and we can turn the tides.
Sweet.
Goals.
But Ryan, we know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this little chat. And yeah,
We appreciate you.
hope it goes down, man. Thank you.
I enjoyed it. It was a pleasure speaking to both of you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay.
Stop this.
That was a great interview.
Mm.
I liked how it was just more personal, and he gave quite a bit of more information. Talking about how he's going to try to make it more like a logistics fulfillment part of the business, and yeah, very interesting. He's talking about how much they were wasting, or how much opportunity they were giving up by not having better tools in eBay. People who are selling on eBay are spending money with third-party tools that eBay could just implement on their website, so they wouldn't be spending their money with third parties. They would be spending to use eBay tools, or they could just offer the tools for free and bring value to the sellers that way. And there's a few other things, but I really like the personal aspect of that interview. Really wholesome, yeah. Ryan's reaching out to sellers. It's a big win. eBay never reached out. Yeah, I mean, he wants to understand the issues at eBay because the second he gets control of it, he wants to be going to work, you know? And waiting longer for updates. Well, you know. How can you survive in 2026 without an ad blocker? I used to have an ad blocker, but the ad blocker I was using, it wouldn't let me play YouTube videos anymore. So I haven't had an ad blocker in a while. I wish. Ad blocker was goated. I think for like the 6 months I had an ad blocker, it blocked over 1 million ads, which is insane. But I also visit a lot of websites, you know, especially back when we were streaming a lot, we were reading different websites all the time. See the green when he said unlikely. I think Ryan's always smiling. He enjoys this. That was a good interview. Yeah, really good interview. eBay price went up today, which could indicate that it's working. Well, Ryan's also buying eBay with his own money, so, you know, Ryan could be single-handedly pushing the price up with how much money he's putting into the stock. Because I forget exactly when GameStop started buying, but it was somewhere down here, and then, you know, you saw what happened after they started buying, so now that Ryan's buying, potentially you will see the price getting pushed up again. I just, I don't relate price action to news or anything like that, you know. The reason a stock goes up is because people are buying it. The reason a stock goes down is because people are selling it. And it's usually money that you couldn't even fathom. So, you know, why eBay stock is going up is probably because, you know, Ryan's buying an amount of shares that most people couldn't even fathom. That's, you know, the only thing that makes real sense, in my opinion. Probably already built the tools and just going to plug in when he takes over. Probably not, but maybe. Offering tools to sellers means eBay becomes privy to more data about the sellers, like what price they originally acquired the item for, etc. Becomes a win-win. Yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point yesterday. That is a very good point. Data is extremely valuable. All right. Is there anything else to talk about? We've already been streaming for over 2 hours. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. They haven't updated this store closure list at all. It's still... Oh, no, they actually update it. Last time I looked at it, it was 20. Now it's at 21, so you're not getting any, like, updated store closures or anything like that. I don't know if you guys have something you want to talk about. Let me know in the chat, but might be time to hit the dusty old trail, you know? As somebody who's moved a ton of shit on eBay, I won't sell anything over $100 anymore. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Fees and shipping are super expensive. I've never had that rule, but for like first class items, you know, anything under £1, I was always like, you couldn't sell anything under $15 because you basically didn't make money. So I could understand why you wouldn't want to sell anything under $100, because shipping for a lot of things is like $20. About to become a data company. I mean, GameStop's already a massive data company. Two times buyers have acted like I sent something that I didn't and ripped my label off to the original package that I sent and put it on something else. eBay sided with the buyer both times, pretty much said fuck off to me, who had over 1K sales and 100% feedback. Yeah, dude, eBay's customer service is garbage, man. I've gotten scammed on eBay a couple times as well. And then, yeah, they don't let you like resolute your feedback if someone gives you negative feedback. It's such a joke, man. eBay at its current stage is An absolute joke. When I first started selling on eBay back in like 2018, 2019, when I had my first exposure to eBay was actually like really good. I never had any issues, but as time, I mean, they even said it in that interview, you know, as time has gone on, it's just gotten worse and worse. eBay's customer service was hard to get a hold of in the first place. It used to not be. It used to be like really good. Like really good. Now, doesn't really seem like it. But I also haven't used eBay in a long time. It's been a year or two. I mean, I just recently took down all my listings on eBay because the items I had weren't selling anymore. But yeah, I haven't really, besides like the items that I just had up for a long time that were just consistently selling, I haven't really sold or listed anything on eBay for a while. Well, I guess I bought some of those retro games from GameStop and ended up selling those. But that was a while ago. I don't even remember when that was, actually. Both times were Costco 151 mini tins, 250 each. Now I just move small items that I don't care about. Oh, I see. You won't sell anything over $100. For some reason, I thought you said you wouldn't sell anything under $100, but I see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's rough selling on eBay this day. Auctions are immediately up, bid to the max by zero feedback people, and then claim the bid was an accident or their account was stolen. Yeah, there's a lot of issues like that. You're not even supposed to be able to, like once you bid on something on eBay, you're supposed to buy it, but for some reason they don't enforce that. Hope y'all have a great 4th of July weekend. Glad to see you back at it, Corey. I appreciate you, Break Nation. I hope you have a good weekend as well. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate you always supporting the stream. And been supporting it for a long time with that little Ryan Cohen head. I think that's over a year, so that's crazy, man. That's crazy that you've been a part of the stream for over a year now. There's a lot of people that have been a part of the stream for over a year now, but it's crazy to me that you guys still stick around. One thing I think I always think about when Ryan Cohen said people have liquidity locked up in their house, my brain's still too investing. Yeah, that's definitely. A lot of people won't list to sell something on eBay because of the barriers, you know. You have to have a label printer, you have to have boxes, you have to have tape, and then you know, you have to have it's not a huge barrier to entry, but there is a barrier to entry to selling stuff on eBay. But if GameStop can truly create the stores as like a fulfillment center, and you know, it becomes a place like FedEx or something where you can just drop something off and they'll pack it up and ship it for you, that's going to unlock that liquidity by making it easier to sell those items, just like with the PSA graded cards. You know, for the longest time I think it was really difficult to grade cards because you had to send the cards in yourself. You know, you had to buy the little things to put the card in, and then you had to get the boxes, and you had to ship and do all that stuff yourself. But when GameStop did that collaboration with PSA and you were able to bring your cards into GameStop and have them ship it for you to PSA, that unlocked a massive barrier that was originally in place. And they could do the same thing with eBay. You have some of the same troll in you that I do, so I won't be leaving. I appreciate it, Break Nation. I gotta go. Good seeing you. Have a good 4th, Bubbles. Appreciate you stopping in, man. I'm probably gonna get out of here too. There's really not much more to talk about. I think we covered pretty much everything. But I do appreciate you all supporting the stream, especially all my OGs. Thank you guys for, supporting the stream for as long as you have in the good times and the bad times. I really appreciate you guys. And shout out to the new people. If you're new to this stream, thanks for giving the stream a chance, and hopefully we see you again. Brain still jumps to investing. If they link pawn shop to bank, you can have a selling point like a start a 401k by selling your junk. This aligns with having collectibles as portfolios too. Very interesting gaming. Very interesting yesterday. Yeah. That's a good point for sure. Have a great 4th of July, all my USA friends. If you go live before I'll still join. I appreciate you, Rosh. I don't know. I'll probably go live on Monday. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. If there's something to talk about, maybe I'll do a live, or I'll just film a video talking about it. We'll see. Lately, I've been trying to wait until there's enough things to talk about on stream to make it a little more entertaining, because as of late, it seems like it's taken almost a whole week to even get enough things for me to talk about to make a stream worth, 2 hours. So yeah, if there's anything I want to talk about through videos, I'll just make the videos. But if there's enough things or something important to talk about through the stream, I'll start up a stream. But either way, I appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th. Well, I guess not 4th of July, but have a good 4th of July. Y'all stay safe and enjoy it. Enjoy it. And I don't think my foreigners celebrate 4th of July, but you guys have a good weekend. You guys have a good weekend. God bless you. Later, Rosh. Later, Deja Vu. Later, Yesterday in Gaming. Bubbles, appreciate you, man. Break Nation. Isaiah. Kalaluka. Grady. Whoever else is here, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Have a good weekend. God bless you. Peace.